This is the 1947 Chevy Fleetline. Let's check this out right here. So this kit right here I got from Pegasus Hobbies. It's been some years, you know. Went down there with a couple friends, and this was one of the ones. During this time, it was pretty hot, you know. These ones were about $45-50 at the time, and these were produced by Galaxy Limited. I want to say during that time period when I picked this up, this was already Galaxy. I don't think they were producing them anymore. I want to say because I remember them telling us, make sure you grab them because there ain't going to be any more. So this is one of the kits here. Let's open it up. Let's check it out. Let's look through it. Because this is one that, you know, I planned on working on back then and I never got around to. I did end up like doing some type of chop on the roof. But let's see here. So, all right, let's look at the decals because, dude, these look pretty sick. I put them in this plastic cover here just because I don't want them to get damaged, you know? They're really nice. You even see some flames, some really nice pinstriping, and just, you know, some good selection of license plates right here, California and other states, and then also, you know, all the like sponsoring stickers and like that. It's really cool, man. In all these patterns too that you can lay out on there on this build. So moon eyes. So I made sure, you know what, I better take care of this sheet because I definitely don't want this getting damaged. Right there, the instructions, Galaxy, and this was cool because, you know, more of a booklet type style, as you can see here. A lot of information. It might look intimidating for someone who's starting off, but after a while you start going on, you know, you really like to see how everything's dissected and kind of put together right there. And then there we see the Waterside decals as well. And then some information tips for personalizing your model right there. That's pretty cool. All right, so as you see the body here, that's the first thing that's it's been primered. There's even tape right here. I'm assuming for a skirt. Let's see if we can find that. Oh, here we are. Oh yeah, so during this time, I remember, now this is bringing back some memories. This is just styrene right here. I was cutting out my own shape. It's just flat styrene. And I believe this one went on this side. So here, let's go ahead and let's try to recreate this mock-up right here real quick. So this is the old tape that's been in this box. Let's see here. Let's try to line this up for the time being. There we go. This is the I guess the look I was trying to achieve, almost like a teardrop. You know, it looks kind of wild, but yeah. Let's see the inside. Oh, it's taped up, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. That's what I was kind of going for on this. And let's see if I find the other part to it. Nah, we'll come across it. But anyway, so that's the skirt there. Hey, let's get a little bit closer on here. Let's remove that now, and let's remove these tapes. And then as far as the trunk, I ended up cutting that out as well. And during this period, you know, I feel like I wasn't using the correct scribers to cut open a trunk and all that. So I'm pretty sure I got really wide, you know, along the trim, because I even had to add styrene there. Look at that. And it looks like there's still chunks that are missing that I need to be adding styrene to right there. So that's something that's going to come forward later, you know. So let's remove the trunk here. It's all taped up for the mock-up. Let's see, let me get there we go. And then let's look at the chop here. So the roof is lowered, and you know, I try to smooth this out right here. Almost like I try to flatten that back window right there. These were my first attempts at learning how to chop a roof. I used to see people's cars and they would tell me, oh, I did a mild chop or this or that. And I had no idea what they were talking about. I was just like, okay, I'm going to chop the roof and drop it and then just smoothing it out and all that stuff, right? Let's look at the bottom. In the bottom, you could see the glue on there that I ended up putting. I never got around really to smooth this out, but you know, that's obviously going to be like a future project right there. But as I started to move forward, that's when I started to really learn more about the chopping and even like sectioning and all that stuff. But in the beginning, I didn't even know what was going on. I wasn't really asking anybody like, "Hey, how do you chop a roof?" I just kind of was eyeballing it, thinking, "Oh, this is the way it's done," you know. But then with other vehicles, I started to really see like, no, it's not. It's not always like that. It doesn't always really happen like that. Here, let's see a side profile of it right there. Look at that. Big and bulky in the front, big like a big nose almost, and then back here it just starts to slim down. And then I was gonna try, I guess, to do those kind of skirts on that build right there. Here we have the glass. It's still in the bag. I never even took it out. Wheels, well, the tires are still in the bag, original baggy Galaxy. Didn't remove those. And then here we have the interior, somewhat of a, I guess, a mock-up here, because it's not glued. There's tape in there at the bottom. So there's that. And then these are just all the interior pieces that we have here. Check that out right there. On the bottom chassis, the white walls. These are possibly the rear tail lights there. And then what also always fascinated me was the chrome trim, because you know, look at this, it's like such a huge sheet, and it's still, yeah, it's still sealed, never opened it. Right there. Oh, just a lot of chrome pieces, looking really nice, very shiny. And then obviously we saw the trunk already. And oh yeah, then there's a visor for it. I might have wanted to cut it too, it looks like, the way I marked it, like the shape. But you know what? I have a feeling, I don't think this visor belongs to this car. I could be wrong, but I almost feel like, oh no, it does come with the visor. I know that has this one here, but this is a lot bigger. It makes me think, I don't know if maybe this is from a different kit. Maybe the Revell, what is it? The Revell, the wagon. It might be from the wagon right there. But this is a big piece. Right here is what I'm kind of getting at right there. Let me see what else. These are the oh, here we go. I found the other skirt. So I have the two skirts, kind of like a teardrop, what I was trying to go for right there. Then I found the original skirts. The original skirts are just round, covering, you know, the wheel wells or whatever right there. Look at them right here. Wonder how close or off I was. If it's somewhat close. Somewhat. There you go. Yeah, I think I must have traced. I must have put it like this and traced the skirt, and then just added a little bit more long kind of flare right there, right? But obviously this is a lot thicker. This is thin. And now I'd probably maybe cut like maybe like a 2mm one, just to give it a little bit of thickness, not too much, a little bit of thickness. Thickness would be good. And man, this is just a lot of loose parts, all from the kit. I don't know. I rarely do this kind of stuff where I just kind of take everything apart and start, you know, messing around like this. I like to leave stuff in the trees and still, until I'm gonna start, you know, cutting it out and kind of moving from there. You know, that's kind of the way I do it. But I don't know, for that reason I must have not. I must have just been, you know, jumping ahead thinking, oh, all right, cool, I'm gonna end up, you know, just going for it right there. Let's see here. So I'm gonna put these back in the box for now. A lot of cool things though with this kit, you know, brings back some memories right there. Let me put these at the bottom actually, because we got to protect this chrome. That's for sure. This is like a really nice sheet of chrome right here. And you know, a lot of these items too, if you don't use all of them, you could definitely use them for more stuff. I believe the steering wheel, I think I grabbed one of these and used it on my Hudson Hornet as well, my wagon. So there's some neat stuff in here that you could definitely be grabbing right there. Oh man, see this? Look at this tape. It's already all stuck to me. All right, let's get the tape out. Yeah, it's time to toss out this tape. Actually, it's been here for some years, and I'm not gonna use it anymore. It doesn't. It holds up good, but it doesn't feel as sticky as it normally does. You know. So yeah, I'm gonna put that one, set that one aside. So this was the 47 Chevy Fleetmaster Coupe, and you know, pretty cool box artwork right here. You got that side view right there, and then right here, this is what grabs you. You know, when you see these, you're like, wow, like you could even make this into like a police vehicle. It almost looks like a detective kind of vehicle right there. And look at that, really nice custom. That style reminds you of like you know, like Watson style right there. Yeah, this is really cool. And then, ooh, obviously right here, man, the racing part right there, that's pretty dope.